Alrighty, welcome to episode 237 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. It appears increasingly likely that Tesla will shortly roll out Apple CarPlay to much of its fleet of vehicles. Although traditional implementations of CarPlay usually have it dominate other vehicles' infotainment displays, word has it that Tesla will confine it to a window so that it doesn't interfere with FSD visualization and other functions. 23 years after installing its first supercharger, Tesla has declared the newly installed Glenorchy supercharger site in Tasmania includes Tesla's 75,000th supercharger stall. And that was this week's news. Indeed it was, and once again, welcome to the program, and apologies for that stuttering start. As I was saying before the program, entropy always increases, and whenever you get back to a computer you haven't used for a while, invariably something else is broken on it. Anyway, as is traditional, if there is anyone who has come here for the first time and is comfortable in doing so, please do unmute and say hello. Or perhaps a little bit later in the program. Alrighty, who wants to kick off a question or a comment? All right, well, thanks for
Yeah,
joining
well,
us.
Harold, I just want to know.
I was going to say, if there's nothing on the table, I cut off my premium connectivity because I put Starlink Mini into the car, thinking I would be able to get Spotify and things like that. But I still wants me to have the paid version, and I
Yes,
didn't think I had to do that. I thought
yes,
it would come to Starlink.
yeah, unfortunately, that used to be the case. It seems now that on some of those things like Spotify, I'm not sure about Apple Music, but certainly Spotify, it seems that Tesla has now tied it as part of the premium connectivity
Okay.
package, even though the internet is not being provided, the connectivity is not being provided by the car and instead by your Wi-Fi hotspot. So yeah, unfortunately, look, the only other way you can get Spotify is if you use it through your phone and stream through Bluetooth. So
The other thing is too, with traffic, I don't get traffic on my navigation. I thought I would get
you
that as well.
you don't get the appearance of the traffic, so it doesn't show you the areas of the map where it's bleeding red, for example, or the status. But when you navigate to a destination, the navigation planner takes the current road conditions into consideration, but it does it
Okay.
invisibly, if in the sense that you don't see why it's going a certain way, but it certainly does take that into consideration. Um, the only other thing to do is just pay the hundred and sorry the yeah $160 a year, or well, 14 is it, I think it's now $14 a month, or $15 a month. I think that's
Well,
right.
I only canned it because I thought, oh, Starlink, I won't need it, but maybe I should just get it back,
Yeah,
cheaper
I think
version.
that's probably the simplest way. I mean, look, the Starlink is certainly going to be very useful if you go. Well, sadly, you don't have to go very far out of Perth to get dropouts in Telstra's network. In any
Not just
case,
Telstra.
or not
Yeah.
just yeah, not just Telstra either. So for the car, it's nice to have the Starlink, um, or also probably more importantly for your phone, because yeah, you don't have to go very far to get dropouts.
Well,
Alrighty,
thanks, Harold. That's it.
no
May I
worries.
say, in response to that
But
conversation, sorry to butt in, guys, but I've said this before, on my 2022 Model 3, I don't have connectivity. I haven't had it after the first month, and I do see traffic, reds and oranges and stuff along the roads.
yeah, that's one. Has anyone else in the room not got connectivity and seen traffic status? Actually, Peter Ship, maybe if you just check on your map, check that there is an icon for the traffic light symbol.
Mm.
Because if there is, it just might be grayed out, or I mean light
Oh,
grey
okay.
rather than dark. Because yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else had that experience. Maybe that's one thing that Tesla relented on and brought that back.
Yeah, I
Perhaps.
seem to remember initially when I joined the group, that I thought, oh yeah, didn't get that, and I thought, yeah, I can deal with it. But then, I've noticed it, and it's been there ever since. And it's definitely there when I navigate. My mind is vague about if it's there when I'm not navigating.
No, it's only there when you navigate, and that's whether it's paid or not. I'm not too sure about not paid, but
Yep.
it's definitely only there when you navigate.
No, Des. It's definitely if you. Well, I certainly know as someone who has a paid subscription,
Yeah.
it's there all the time. Now, what I think what you're talking about, Des, is when you navigate somewhere, you'll see like a blue line. Well, you'll see a coloured line,
Yeah,
which
that's right.
is either blue or it'll have bits of
Orange or red.
orange and red and black and whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm referring to.
yeah, that's cool. So what Peter Ship and Michael referring to is when you just see the plain Google map, which is probably also on the aerial photography as well. It'll show, if you select it, it'll show the traffic status. So you'll actually see the map with a whole lot of spaghetti of different colours according to whether it's... Actually, I think if it's green, you don't see it. It's only if it's slower that you see the traffic status symbolically as lines.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that's a thing for these older models. Like, I've got Summon and Auto Park before FSD came along, because I've got obviously the ultrasonics in. So I don't know whether it's just unique. But as you said, you asked, I don't know if anybody else has got older units in there that are not paying the subscription, and nobody responded. So I don't know.
No, I'd ask Paul, but I know he's got a subscription. I dare
I've
say.
got it for life.
Yes.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
because you got a certain car, like the car's got it for... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Stealth Performance got it for, I think there was only like a dozen of us or whatever. So we got it for the life of the vehicle.
Right. Very good. All right, don't write
For
it
my
off.
cold, dead hands, will you take my performance from me?
That could be arranged, Paul. Just
exactly.
a laser
Just run-
T-bone or something like that. We'll get it sorted.
Yeah, don't hurt my baby.
Yeah. Although, actually, that brings something to mind. Actually, a couple of things. Actually, I'll segue correctly to what came to mind, which is if anyone, heaven forbid, does get involved in a car crash with your Tesla, just go into your Tesla app, request a service, go to Collision and Glass, and then you can put photos of your collided car straight into the Tesla app, and then you can start the process of getting your car repaired at O'Connor at Tesla's body shop, paint and body shop. And it's a very simple process, and it's very impressive the way Tesla does the body and paint repair process. And they are very transparent to all the insurers, and uncharacteristically, they actually often give the insurance companies a credit for work that didn't need to be done, which is kind of unheard of in the industry, because any panel beater will always bill up to the agreed quote. But Tesla certainly does not do that. The next thing there's a couple of things to mind as well. This Saturday, we've got our annual general meeting. It's not as exciting as Tesla's, obviously, but it is our annual general meeting, and it's being held at the Greenwood Tavern, which is, I hope this is right, 349 Beach Road. I think that's right, in Greenwood. And it starts, I'm pretty sure, at 11:30. And like all good annual general meetings, this one will be uncontroversial. We don't need to vote on anything. It's more a ceremonial thing, and it's basically a great time of year for us all to get together. And good thing is our chair, Rob, does a summary of the year of our activities. And straight afterwards, we just have a casual lunch, which is really what all AGMs should be about. So please, it's not essential that you go into try booking, but please do feel free to join in person.
Harold, it's 349 Warwick Road.
Warwick Road.
Greenwood.
Sorry, Warwick Road. Sorry, but it is a Greenwood Tavern. So just put Greenwood Tavern in your
Right.
nav, and either you can follow the nav directions, or FSD can drive you straight there if you use that. FSD supervised. Sorry. And then the week after that, we've got Tokwa's last track day. So I think as of this morning, there were 5 positions still available. If you're at all interested, please have a look at our Facebook page, where one of the top posts will have the link for try booking to book your ticket to attend that. That's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, the 29th of November. Alrighty. After all of that, I see Chuck's in the room. So, Chuck, I don't know whether you saw the news, but the 75,000th supercharger stall was it Glenorchy? I can't remember now. I read the news so long ago. Is declared, well, Tesla's declared it as the 75,000th stall in the world.
That's all right. It was
Which,
quite a surprise.
yeah, indeed. It's because, I mean, as we all know, there's a lot of wiggle. It's not, there's
Yeah,
nothing to say. It literally was the 75,000th. It's just Tesla chose to declare it to be the 75,000th. And one bonus, if I can bring this image back up, was that, oops, it's been painted, well, one of the stalls, well, the 75,000 stall has been painted in one of the best blue colors, which is glacier blue.
Glacier Blue. That's right.
So I'm just going to try and find it. Where's news images? Here we go. And it is right here. If I can bring it up full screen, hopefully. Oh, and I think, Chuck, you've actually got quite a few images of it as well. But this
I
is
did.
Tesla's original tweet. Um,
That's
I
it.
did note with a little bit of with a bit of a chortle that you warned everyone in Tesla Motors Club forum that you will be doing very regular updates on this site.
That's right.
And, but
Yes, it was sitting there not doing much for about 3 weeks, I think, 3 or 4 weeks.
yep,
Actually, I don't think I even mentioned the construction beginning on here because obviously I missed last week. Then you were away for 3 weeks, and then I think I missed the week before that, and
yes,
then you might have had an in-person one or something like that. So yeah, I think you've missed the entire build process, but yeah, it was sitting there like they do quite often. It was sitting there not being enabled for 3 weeks or so.
oh really? Yeah, that's right. Because I remember you said, or you showed that it was in wrap. They wrapped it up and they had just the white standard.
Yes,
So the, let's call it, is it 1D? So this is the 4th stall,
that's right.
was
Yeah,
just the same color as all the others, and then I guess at the last minute they then changed it over. Well, I must
yeah.
admit, is this new tarmac? Because this looks very nice.
The
Or is it just the way?
well, the actual car park was only built about 4 or 5 years ago, but you can see the darker tarmac near
Oh,
where the
you can
posts are.
too. Sorry, yes, you
That's
can.
all you
Yeah,
need. Yeah,
yeah, okay. It just looks very clean
yeah.
in
And
this
actually,
photo.
yeah, they probably would have given a bit of a hose over, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yep,
you can see where the dark tarmac goes along those 4 posts.
yes,
You can see that it continues past the 4th one.
yep,
It's because they've pre-wired for another four bays there.
yeah, and you can, oops, and you
Oop.
can actually see, if I can zoom in enough, on the edge, just here is the start of a plate
Yep,
covering where
very
conduits are of
very
a
good
cable
eyes. Yeah.
pit. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I only know that, Chuck, because I did see your post showing a much better image of it, and I thought, oh, I know where to
yes.
look. So that's really cool. So eventually you're going to get, it's got expansion for 8 stalls, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be good. The we were told maybe March or April next year that other 4 stalls should come along. They're waiting for a power upgrade, so yeah, that should
Yep.
be good. But one thing that would interest you, given your interest in long distance strange trips, the charger in Tully in Queensland has also just gone live this week.
Yes, yes.
The one in Cairns is under construction, and Tesla's website map with their coming soon map shows they're planning one for Port Douglas.
Oh, good.
Well, so
So-
it's going to be 3, 1, 2, so 3 north of Townsville.
North of Townsville, yeah. So if you want something to do while you're doing laps, you could just go for a north to south up the east coast, because it's Cooktown to Cockle Creek.
Ooh, oh,
You could do the entire distance.
probably could do too, because I think from Port Douglas to the top is not, the biggest problem is it's not a sealed road, but hey,
That's right, yeah.
details.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the northernmost sealed road, according to what I can find on Google Maps, was Cooktown.
Yes.
Yeah, Cooktown.
That's within one charge of Cairns, and then you're right from there on. So anyway, I thought I'd pop that idea in your head because I know how you'll be tempted to try it.
Well, a smart aleck called Pete Petrosky. Let me just get his post. He actually put a comment. This was in reply to Tesla charging, putting up the 75,000th charger. So he said, "You missed one," and I had to reply and go, "Not missed, Pete. Merely on my to-do list for a subsequent double island lap." Because there are Australia has more than one island. There's, I think you call it the North Island, don't you?
The North Island, yeah.
The North Island.
So it's a small island off the coast with a fairly large population, but
That's right. That's right. Although it's probably less densely populated than the South Island, to be perfectly honest.
yeah, I think that's right actually.
Possibly. That could be right.
I think Tasmania is the second most densely populated state after Victoria, or something weird like that.
Right. But hopefully not the state full of the most dense people. I shouldn't have
I
said
hope
that. But yeah, since I'm accustomed to doing North and South Island laps, I might as well, one of my subsequent ones, hopefully before the Cybertruck, because obviously at Glenorchy you've got the Glacier Blue
Yep.
stall, and my current
You
car
want-
is Glacier Blue. So
You will want it to match, won't you?
I want it to match, yeah. And I'll
Yes.
if that means I got to wait half an hour for someone to get off the Glacier Blue and say, "Oh, come on, mate, I just want to take a photo so I can then go back home." But
Well, I went there this evening, and my car's just the normal boring blue.
yes,
But I used one of the other stalls. I thought I'll save that one up for when I'm here on a really low surge charge, and I want to get a huge speed boost. I'll use the fancy stall then. Just for a bit of variety.
oh, it's a shame it's not red, because then it would have really gone faster.
Oh, should have.
Very good, excellent. Yeah, well, and good on you, because it's about time that Hobart finally got its mythical supercharger
Yeah.
after so many years. So that's awesome. So you can basically get off the ferry at
At Devonport.
Devonport, supercharge there, and in most cars basically drive straight to Hobart and then supercharge on arrival, which is fantastic.
That's right. And Glenorchy is just on the northern side of the city, so it's good for when you're coming from the rest of the state. Yeah, and then you can get from there to Cockle Creek and back on one charge. So easy.
Yes,
I reckon you could.
yes, yeah. So yeah, look, I'll be definitely going back to Cockle Creek, and if I can do it, look, definitely with the Cybertruck, absolutely, but hopefully I can squeeze in a double island lap before the Cybertruck. Let's just say if the Cybertruck comes up for order, or should I say order confirmation, then I might as it's on its way, I'll then do a lap just to finalise the blue car,
Yeah.
just
And-
to make sure it's out of warranty.
And I guess your other option is you could wrap the Cybertruck in Glacier Blue if you want to.
That could be, that's another possibility too. So you never know.
Sorry for putting all these ideas into your head.
Stop it, my head's going to explode. Alrighty, well, that's enough about me. What do you think about me? But no, that's awesome, Chuck. Once again, congratulations. You finally got the supercharger you guys really do deserve.
At last.
And
Yep.
At last. Better late
Just have
than
to see
never.
how busy it is.
Yeah, indeed. Well, actually, if it's anything like the Goulburn supercharger, the new one, the new V4 stalls, it should be busy with unsurprisingly, non-Teslas because it's reliable
Okay.
and fast.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
So,
no one wants to give Elon money until they're in the middle of nowhere and need a fast, reliable charge, and then suddenly they don't care then. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And something that
always
might sweeten it for them is Tesla's, and this was mentioned, I think we mentioned it last week, is Tesla's upcoming multi-pass, which
Yeah.
allows you, once you accept it, so just repeating what I said last week, we'll all know when it's available is when we'll get a message on our app, on our Tesla app, which basically invites us to accept joining multi-pass. And to be honest, you'd be mad if you didn't. And then that way you can either use your Tesla app to start a charging session at any of the participating charge point operator networks. So presumably networks such as ChargeFox, EV, Everty, and others.
Yeah.
Hopefully BP and Ampol and those where those apps are inherently useless or difficult to use.
Yeah.
And alternatively, you can use your, if you can find it, your Tesla key card, and you can then just badge it on the reader, and then it goes straight to your Tesla account, which is fantastic. So that's going to be a great thing once it finally comes to Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it went live in a few other countries over the last week, so just
Yes.
have to wait, I guess.
Yeah, I think mostly Europe, but it's certainly coming, and that's something that Tesla is going to bring to Australia without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm speaking of Tesla superchargers in Australia. I believe Ava had their Charging Station of the Year award recently. I'm just
Oh,
looking
yes.
it up now. And the winner was the Tesla supercharger at New Italy, which I'm
Oh,
not
very
sure if
good.
you've been to that one or not. Is that
Yes,
on
I have.
your last one?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Right,
I got a
there we go.
nice drone shot of it with the solar panels. Great
Right.
site.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the solar that probably won it over, I would say.
Yeah, I dare say so. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully there'll be many more of those to follow because it's a great initiative. I mean, clearly there's not enough. I didn't bother to count the panels and work it all out, but those panels wouldn't be able to keep up with one session.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They don't have to. It's still, you're providing free shade
Yep.
and making something useful out of that land, which is producing solar.
that's it.
So that's definitely good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't think I mentioned the Tully site also has solar panels.
Ah, cool.
Another
Very
one, very
good.
similar design, I'm guessing.
Yeah, right. So the good thing is I've gotten over doing hot laps. So yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't mind going up to Tully. Although I might just wait till Port Douglas. Is that look like it's underway sort of shortly, or is it still in the planning phase?
No, the grey dot only just appeared on the website map. So that can mean,
Yeah.
Southern Cross, for example.
Yes.
It can mean some time.
Although Southern Cross is quietly, as long as you don't tell anyone, is progressing. So
Okay.
it is progressing. There was a blockage, and there is no longer a blockage. So that's progressing, which is great. But
Was
like
it-
I said, as
was
long
it
as we
Western
keep
Power?
that between you. Oh, I'm not going to say what no, it wasn't. But
Okay,
we
right.
won't go into animal, vegetable, mineral.
Okay.
We won't go into what 3 questions, but there was a blockage, and I think I might mention another program. I might have a little think about it. Actually, my feeling is it's not a secret because everyone should understand where some of these blockages come from, and
Yeah.
people that cause those blockages should stop it. But anyway,
Well-
it's going to be progressing, which is great.
Okay, that's good because Southern Cross was on the website map, but Meriden was the one that had the council
Yes.
report.
Yep.
So hopefully it's good news for both. Not that you probably can't say, but hopefully.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't know, to be honest. I knew that Meriden was going to be easy anyway. It was Southern Cross was an issue, and like I said, there was a blockage, but there's no longer a blockage. Presumably, there's going to be Kalgoorlie or Coolgardie, and I don't know at all, and it kind of doesn't matter. In one sense, Coolgardie is more practical, is better if you're travelling east or west from the east, but obviously Kalgoorlie just makes more financial sense, I guess.
Bigger town. Yeah.
Because bigger town, and you're more like, it doesn't make sense to make someone drive the 30 Ks or whatever it is between Coolgardie and Kalgoorlie Boulder.
Yeah. I know. I know. When I was staying there, I think neither of the fast charger sites there were active, so I was, detouring to one or the other. When I had to go and charge at the caravan park, and
Yep.
had to make sure I could get from there to, I think it was Esperance in one go because Northland wasn't active, so it's a lot easier
yes.
now. Yeah, so I think
It's a lot
Kalgoorlie
easier.
was my longest ever stretch. So I
Yep.
didn't really want to stop at 3-phase, but I had a 150 kilowatt charger at the other end. So
Yeah, absolutely. Sadly, the Nullarbor that's definitely showing that entropy very quickly increases, and it's a bit of a mess, to be brutally honest. Even the NRMA, which we're kind of accustomed to having them install poor
Rubbish.
hardware, rubbish, basically. The Border Village charger is very variable. It puts out between not very much and nothing at random, which is a little bit like what the Nullarbor Roadhouse is doing. But then sadly, the WB network, especially the Horizon Power part of it, is pretty appalling at Majura Pass. Mundrabilla is iffy. Kaiguna is even iffier, and Balladonia is also iffy. So, and also to mention Manuia turn off to Exmouth, it's been throttled down to about 20 kilowatts, and that's probably going to be a permanent thing. And even that, sometimes that actually stops working altogether at random. And that's caught out people like Polestar Stan, who used it on the way up, no problem, and on the way back, not working. And he had a similar issue at Border Village, I think, and somewhere else. So it's a bit bleak, to be honest. The best thing is just the whole unbroken string of superchargers. And the sooner that Tesla does that, I mean, we had at the Tesla shareholder meeting a couple of weeks ago, only a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, when Elon Musk was regaling the supercharger network and basically saying you can effectively go anywhere, and he was saying that there are superchargers everywhere, I really wish someone yelled out, "What about the Nullarbor?" And he could have gone, "Well, we could do that," and then that would have been exciting. But
well, he said that someone did that for somewhere else, but
Kazakhstan.
Many years ago, Kazakhstan.
That was Anwar Beck, and believe it or not, it's actually the Australian team that installed it and continues to maintain it.
Really?
From Australia.
That's weird.
Yep.
Very weird.
And they also maintain the cars, and there's only a handful of them in Kazakhstan. So, anyway.
Strange.
Oh, alrighty. And also, well, thanks for joining us 3 hours in the future, because it's a late night for you.
It is. I'm often not. I'm not always here during summer because I'm thinking about going to bed by the time you guys start.
Yeah, too right. Which is exactly why I didn't turn up while I was in New Zealand, because that was 5 hours in front, and that was like 12:30 before it even started.
You could have rescheduled everything around your time.
Oh no, that would have been far too early. It's much better if you go to Europe because you can just do it lunchtime and get it over and done with. It's easy. But sorry, you were going to say something else, Chuck?
Oh no, I think I was done. I was just
Oh, cool.
when you mentioned New Zealand, I was going to say well done on getting all of them done, including the new one that only just
Yeah,
opened.
I was pretty grateful about that. I guess my worst nightmare was if they'd opened it like a few days later, I would have to have done a quick 600k each way dash to just collect it. And my good wife was quite tolerant.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say she didn't kill me for accidentally bumping into all 29 of them. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Definitely cool. One day I'll do all of Australia's one day, but I mean there are a lot. I've only done about half, so but we'll get there. Alrighty, cool. Thanks, Chuck. All right, anyone else got any questions or comments? Oh, sorry, Mike, you got your hand up, and then anyone else after that.
So just a quick little anecdote. So other half and I went to Singers for a few days and surprisingly visited a few Tesla stores because they're sort of really weird over there. They're just like little shops stuck in a variety of malls. Some of you probably know this, but yeah, right next to our hotel, in fact. So had a chat with the boys there, and it's literally a small shop in for those of you who've been to Singapore, they're types of shopping malls they have. Had a chat with them about how they're selling and so on, and said what did he say to me? There was some sort of factor that swings it up and down. I think it's the exchange rate or something. Whether new models come out, but there were quite a few on the streets. I did notice that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to see what they have in vehicles. Oh, same as us. So it's Model 3, Model Y, and the
Same as us, yes.
Cybertruck on the Never Never.
Yes.
Just trying to share that screen. Yeah, so Model 3, Model Y, and Cybertruck as a just learn. Oh, and they have Roadster for the one person that cares in Singapore about the Roadster.
Yeah, can you
Very
imagine how
good.
much it costs in Singapore? Because their cars cost a fortune anyway.
Yeah, isn't it some ridiculous? It's dozens upon dozens of thousands of dollars effectively just for the number plate, just for the right to have the car, and
Yes.
it's very closely regulated. And I guess
Which is
it's
good
sort of, yes,
for them, because the population, if everybody could get a car, you wouldn't be able to move.
yeah, absolutely. But the funny thing is, I'm not sure how many superchargers there are. You don't need many because you could literally do several laps of Singapore in series and still
Have
not
a look
be
at
flat.
have a look in the chat. I've just put a map. I've got a lot of superchargers.
Sorry, I just got to bring the chat up. They're not. They're just fast AC chargers, aren't they? James, not. For some reason that's not loading. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, if that was Australia, it'd be good. If that was all of Australia in the old days, that would have been considered good. And Singapore's tiny, absolutely tiny. Very good. Alrighty. Colin.
Thanks, Harold. I got an FSD question that I was wondering if anyone might be able to help me answer. So, one thing that my car's persistently done wrong using FSD is when it backs out of my driveway, almost everywhere we want to go is one direction from my house up the road rather than the other. When it backs out, all except I think one time, it's backed out and got turned the wrong direction. So
Yep.
it's gone against the navigation. So I was chatting it through with a friend of mine, and we were wondering if the issue is to go the way the navigation wants it to go, it would have to back across one lane, if you like, and into the far lane because it needs to go left up the street.
Yep.
Is that the issue? It doesn't like backing across a lane, and it backs into the near lane and goes that direction.
Yep.
Even if the navigation says to go the other way.
It's not necessarily the case. My car, I always drive forwards, and it sometimes or often goes the incorrect direction. sometimes that's because it thinks that the car is in a parallel street that's one street away from it. And for whatever reason, that compels it to want to go in the opposite direction initially, even though that still doesn't really make sense. Um, Look, the only way to really solve it would be to deliberately reverse your car in so that you're going to drive it out forwards and repeat the same route and the same path and see what happens,
Yeah,
because
okay.
that would be the clincher. Um, I mean, I was thinking of something more interesting, like it knows it has to turn. Say if you're facing the road and you've got to turn left. If you're reversing, you've got to turn left, but left in a different way, because you guys basically going to the right, which when you're going backwards is left, and you've got to go back to go forwards, if you know what I mean. So maybe it's some weird orientation issue. I'm not sure. The only way to really properly flush it out and to see if it's just the way the car does it is deliberately park the car in the opposite direction and then repeat the same route and see what happens. And you might have to do that a couple of times, because I think you're saying, oh no, only once it did it correctly, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it once. And the reason I can remember that one is about 3 meters that direction from my driveway is a little speed control. We have to go slightly around a little island.
Yep.
And it backed out, went that direction, and then tried to go around the wrong side. So
Yeah.
that's why I remember it, because I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what's it doing? But I'm pretty sure it's only done it once, and every other time, yeah, I've noticed that, yeah, it tries to go the other direction,
Yep. Yep.
which is a bit perplexing.
Yeah, it does some foibles. I mean, look, the problem is we've still got the same version we've had from the start.
Mm.
And look, to be honest, there's still no sign of a new version. I mean, maybe we might get all really happy and the new version will be a version 14, but
Because
no
it
one
had
knows.
stuff in the release notes for the first version. It had some stuff about coming soon. It was about, 3 times model parameters and 3 times something else, and it had a whole bunch of stuff that was obviously planned for the next version, whenever that happens to be.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which I don't even know if that means if that implies version 14 or not.
I don't think it is. 3 times
No.
doesn't seem enough for the change to version 14.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately in Australia, we are clearly getting let's call it the dregs of the training cluster, or we're probably, I'd say Tesla's correct priority at the moment is, in order of importance, is Robotaxi, and then FSD 14 for normal owners in North America, and then they're also doing training, obviously, presumably for other countries as well. And then I guess maybe the lowest priority is retraining models that already exist that have problems or need improvement. But
Yeah. So
um,
just out of curiosity, does anyone who's got FSD, have you ever had it reliably like reverse so it's going right if you're sitting in the car, so it has to back across a lane to get into the other lane to go. Sorry, I said that the wrong way
Yeah.
around.
yeah. So if you're
to go left.
if you're in your garage facing your backyard,
Yep.
what you're saying is
It
you
needs
need to go left. You need to go as you're facing the car. You need to go in a left direction on the road, going left, which
Yep.
means your car has to reverse to your right, across
Yep.
the closest lane and into the far lane, which is going in that direction. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But what it does
Yeah.
is it always goes into the closer lane to go the opposite direction. So I was
yes.
curious if anyone could say, no, it does it for me all the time. Then it might be just a quirk.
How many in this room have FSD supervised? So I got 1, 2. I know Pete says 3, 4. So there's probably 4, 5. five. I see 5 hands, 6 hands. 6, Alex. That's a great way to get cameras up. Yeah, so we got half a dozen, but it's just too small a sample size, to be honest. But like I said, my car often goes the wrong way, but that's going out the correct way. Well, not correct, the easier way. And it will still, at random, choose the wrong direction. And that's why I always flick it off, press a voice memo and say navigation error, because that's basically what it's doing.
I had a funny one the other day. I was put it in reverse and it just sat there.
Oh, yes.
And it just sat there for a good, I gave it a good minute, and then it put itself in drive to go forwards, which was my garage door was right in front of it. I was like, this is not going well.
Yeah, look, if it gets a little bit stuck, it does help just to blip the throttle. I don't know what it really does. Oh, well, apart from making it go forwards or backward, making it proceed. It's almost like it maybe it literally wants you to say, yes, it's okay. I'm not exactly sure.
Seeking approval. But the problem was by that point it was in drive, and I didn't.
No, it's the wrong way. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a funny one. It doesn't usually do that, but yeah, just obviously something got hung up, and it went, I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed.
It is interesting, I think, because I don't know what the road rules here are. I know what that sounds like, but my driver education was in the UK now quite a few years ago, obviously, and things have changed. But it was illegal to reverse out of a driveway onto a marked road. And so all normal people would reverse up their driveways. And so it may well be that there's some underlying road rule sort of thing in there that says don't reverse out onto a road or something to cross to the other side. And you certainly couldn't reverse out across to the other lane in a marked road. You couldn't do that. But I don't know what the situation now over there is, being right-hand drive like us. So just a thought.
Well, the thing is, the cars the model is end to end. So the way the car behaves is through all its training videos. So presumably there are training videos of it reversing out of places. I mean, one classic behavior we saw in the States under version 14 was the car was, I think there were witches' hats blocking off because they drive on the right side of the road, which is the wrong side. There were witches' hats or something blocking off the right lane, so it was going to go into the left lane, so across the other side of the road. And then a bus came and swept in. Even though the Tesla sort of had the first bite of it, it basically stopped and very skillfully reversed and snuck its way back into the right-hand side of the road, past the witches' hats. So effectively executing part of a parallel park in that sense, and did it very quickly. So the cars are definitely are trained on reversing maneuvers. It's just a matter of, was there sufficient training in all those scenarios to embed that behavior properly, or is that something that needs to be refined? Because that's the challenge and the beauty of end-to-end is as long as you've got all the training video, the system just works out what to do kind of magically. And it doesn't rely on, rules for this or that, or decision trees and all that sort of stuff. It just kind of does it in a neural sense, which is quite magical.
Yeah, I sort of agree and disagree, Howard, and I know you're much more knowledgeable, but let's say there was nothing in its way, which there wouldn't be most of the time, like Colin has coming out of his driveway, like I have. There must be some base level of understanding or something to start with. And so I think, yes, you're right. It will do whatever it needs to do to keep itself safe. But in the absence of anything making it do that, what does it actually do? So yes and no is what I'm thinking in my head as we're talking.
Yeah, the way I've heard it explained, it's sort of it's there's only two outputs. There's steering angle and acceleration or deceleration. If you call it acceleration as a vector, either positive or negative. Oh, and there's indicators, minor stuff. But the way it generally behaves is it looks at everything, and I think there must be a little bit of memory, obviously, because it's got they describe it in like large language models as tokens. So you have a number of tokens which represent the current state and what it can see, and then its job is to decide what to do next. But its inherent training is to go forwards, or sorry, to progress, because it can progress backwards, I guess. But in general terms, if you're driving around, it's just progressing forwards. And then things like the navigation commands are just then telling it turn left at the next drivable area, or you know, whatever. But in general, the whole point of it, it's a bit like language models, is what's the next step? And the next step is confined with I think they call it the occupancy network, which is how the neural network determines what's drivable, what's in the drivable area, and if that's a threat or something's moving. It's like when people describe FSD, when you see pedestrians running across the road, it's like it. And actually, this is a classic, which is what proves that FSD is so much better compared to autopilot. Just earlier today, I had a car crossing in front of me. I'm on Manning Road, which is 2 lanes each way, and there's like a cross intersection. And a car is basically crossing in front of me quite closely, but it's doing it at a steady rate, which if autopilot saw that, it would have just absolutely slammed the brakes on well after the car had passed. But FSD had plotted the trajectory of this car, and we'll probably, I mean, people always underestimate distances, but we're probably 20 meters away, 30 meters away. It was pretty close, but the car knew that car was going to get out of the way, so my car didn't flinch, it didn't slow down, it didn't hesitate, it just sort of proceeded. So, look, I think it's beyond most of it or any of our comprehension how this exactly works. But in general terms, it truly is virtually no structural programming. It's just what the neural networks have worked out from dozens of thousands of hours of video training, and you know, the actual proper training methodology that Tesla applies to those neural networks, which is probably why it's taking so long for us to get another revision, because it takes time.
Colin, you've got to back in and out a few million times yet.
Actually, just a few times. You send it to Tesla, and what I do know is that Tesla has been relying on a lot of synthesized video from Australian conditions. And I think we saw, I forget where it was either on X or maybe it was on YouTube, that Tesla has shown, I think it was, I forget Ashok Goswami was showing that they can use real footage gleaned from Teslas driving around, and then they can edit it. And he showed an example of a car overtaking on the right. Well, they can make that car, while it's overtaking, then change lanes. And when they do it, they can do it in pure photorealistic fashion, whereby it's like it was perfect. Even though it was originally based on real footage, the synthetic footage it created was completely different and absolutely perfect. So they can certainly generate a lot of synthetic data, and I think that's what they're relying on for the Australia. Well, they definitely are relying on that for Australia, because we just don't have the fleet of hundreds of thousands of cars getting all this data sort of for free. We've got to basically generate it from what we see on a few instances. And like I said, God only knows how Tesla filters all this stuff out and then puts it into the training program to make it do stuff. But I've been assured that even the speed limit signs, that is being read as a result of end-to-end training. So there's no C++ that says, if the sign says 80, that means something. The training data is sufficient for that one parameter, which is accelerate or decelerate, to be tweaked in response to seeing that stimulus. and the other thing too is I think, as Elon Musk has sort of said fairly recently, I'm pretty certain that what Tesla shows us as the footage is not what the car sees, because the car sees in fact, Elon Musk has said this, they take the raw data from the cameras and feed it straight in. So that's something that AI5, which is Tesla's upcoming chip, which Elon Musk has said is not due to be incorporated into vehicles probably until middle of 2027, because he said that he wants at least a couple of hundred, or at least 150,000 or a couple of 100,000 chipsets.
Sideline.
Exactly. Line side. So basically means ready to go to be put in and can be tested and verified and all that sort of stuff. He basically said that what's going to make its performance so much better than anything else on Earth, and he actually said, to paraphrase NVIDIA's CEO Jensen, he said, as Jensen would say, we wouldn't use anyone else's chips even if they were for free, because they just don't have the performance that the AI5 will have. And one of the things that Elon Musk said is he made some mistakes in the past with AI4, such as AI4 had pre-processing circuitry to basically partially process the images coming from the cameras to sort of help out the neural networks. Well, now Tesla are going to delete that. So it's literally just the raw binary photon count from the charge coupled devices in the different colors. And that means in the neural networks, when you're training them, you've probably got to feed it with that same raw data. So it's very raw indeed. And it just shows how clever neural network programming can be. Alrighty. Anyone else got any questions or comments?
Harold, before you were using the example of FSD supervised versus autopilot, there's been a few people, there was actually a gentleman on Ask Us Anything a couple of weeks ago, just before you got back, and he was confused as well, because in the app now, if you have a hardware 3 car and you haven't purchased FSD, we know you can't buy it outright anymore, but you do get the $149 a month option, but it actually says FSD supervised. And so he paid the $150 and found it was no different. So,
Yep.
And there's a few people, there's YouTubers, there's several people that have been completely confused by that. Basically FSD supervised, so what they failed to do is, if you have a look on your app and if you try and subscribe for it, it says what it can do, but then it says upcoming city streets, and that's the crucial bit of info that people miss. So it's essentially, it's no different to the way AutoSteer Beta or the old Autopilot has been for the last 6 years. So nothing has substantially changed there, and it's nothing like FSD supervised. They're very, very different bits of software. So so few people have been frustrated because they're expecting to get the results that they've seen videos of online. They don't realise that those people are running hardware 4 cars, and they're trying to do the same on a hardware 3 car, and they actually have a completely different version of the software.
And to be honest, Tesla doesn't always cover themselves in glory. When you look at the release notes, there's not a single word that mentions city streets. It's not saying FSD supervised city streets. So I think Tesla ideally should stop it. They should simply not sell the $150 product. Have a subscription for the $149 product.
Oh no, it's
if for a Model 3, for a hardware 3 car, what they should do is they should say coming soon, asterisk. Then they should offer FSD Classic, if you want to call it that, which is what we all used to have before some of us got FSD supervised. They should offer FSD Basic or something Classic for half price, because it does less than half of what FSD supervised can do, because it's really just autopilot with extras. In fact, it literally is autopilot with extras. It's not, there is no part on a Hardware 3 car that if you subscribe to what they call FSD, that has any scintilla of FSD version 13. It's just autopilot with extras. So when I mentioned that a car was going across my path and FSD supervised took it in its stride, autopilot all day, every day, well before and even well after that car has passed, would slam the brakes on. So I really wish that Tesla would firstly not offer the $149 thing, unless you had a bunch of asterisks that said you are effectively wasting your time if you think you're going to get FSD supervised that you've seen on YouTube in Australia, because you're not getting it this month, because it's a monthly subscription. Then if they want to get people sort of something better than just basic autopilot, which is what you used to have to do if you bought enhanced autopilot or you bought what was then called FSD, which always had a promise of being actually FSD sometime later in the future, then they should offer that product for half price, say, and have an asterisk that said, and we intend in the fullness of time to be able to offer you something better later at a higher price. And I think that would get rid of a lot of the confusion, because I do note that Tesla clearly says if you subscribe to this, it's at your own risk, or you're basically not going to get your money back when you realise that it's not what you thought it was, and that's unfortunate. Because city streets has no meaning in Australia, because what we are driving, Pete, you and I, in our Hardware 4 cars, has zero mention of city streets. It's not even in the title. It's FSD supervised version 13 down under.
If you go into the app on a Hardware 3 car and you select upgrades and software upgrades, and you go to FSD supervised, because that's unfortunately what the title is, and then you click on it, it tells you, I did actually write an article on this and posted it on X with the image as well. I'll see if I can find it. But it tells you all the things it can do, and then it says upcoming city streets. So that's your clue that it's nowhere near even in the similar ballpark to FSD supervised. But it's a very fine detail. It should be much more explicitly stated, 100%.
Yes, whereas I've got, and I'll get to you, Paul and Mike, in a sec, I've got, this is for my son's Hardware 4 car, for $149 per mo, it says full self-driving bracket supervised. Under your supervision, your car will be able to drive itself almost everywhere with minimal driver intervention. Currently enabled features require active blah blah. It's classic FSD supervised. Now, if that's exactly the same or very similar wording, it's just misleading. Or to say something like city streets, again, that has no meaning in Australian context.
It's not helpful.
It's not helpful. No, it's counterproductive, and I mean, people are pretty sick of lawyers doing class actions against Tesla, whinging about phantom braking and stuff. Actually, I'll take back the term whinging. People aren't whinging about it. It's a real thing. We all know about it. And where some of us handle it better than others, or are less worried, are less perturbed by it, others certainly are, and that's okay. But Tesla's not helping itself. by basically renting a product which it is not doing what it says on the label. And under Australian consumer law, you need to be entitled to a refund. But Tesla just says, I believe, no, you've done it for this month, you've learnt your lesson, just cancel it, and it'll stay on your car for the next remainder of that month until the anniversary date, and then you can just unsubscribe.
1 month.
Yeah, and it's in this day and age, people have enough reasons to be antagonised by large companies behaving poorly. Tesla doesn't need to add to that. It really, and it's not like it needs $149 from a Hardware 3 owner that isn't going to enjoy what they just rented. Or they just change the wording and have the wording this, sometimes, lawyers do things like, to be super clear, this is not FSD supervised in any way, shape or form. And if I did say that in
it's
lights,
potentially counterproductive because it says
Yes.
FSD supervised.
it's not.
So people that don't know any different are going to be thinking, this is crap. This is nothing like what people are posting up online. This is, they're just going to have very high expectations. And, the idea of, it's always best to under-promise and over-deliver rather than the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, you got your hand up, then I'll go to Mike.
Cool. Slight change of subject. For me this week, I did a test drive on Tuesday at Aussie Park for the Performance Model Y. And I put some photos in the chat, and it was bloody awesome. It was they're coming from Germany, like the Berlin factory. So the that's good Auto. The stance is really nice, like it's a lot lower and that stuff, and those wheels are pretty sick. The seats are nice and comfy in there. I didn't take a photo inside, just only on the outside sort of stuff. Yep.
You know what's really weird? The rear view, the side mirrors are body color. Or no. Or is that the reflection? Are they black? Were they black and that's just the reflection, or are they body colored?
I was too excited, man. You can flick around. I've got a couple other photos.
Oh, no. Sorry, my bad. They're dark,
black.
but it just looked like it was so.
Yeah.
That had me really confused because
that would have been pretty cool.
I actually saw mine in Auckland, but I was under pain of NDA, so I couldn't say anything. But yeah, cool. So they do have wing mirrors,
and I got the back as well, showing the spoiler, because that was actually a bigger, deeper spoiler sort of stuff as well. And the seats are nice and comfy as well. Like they hug you quite well, but not too much.
There's the big lip, and I did notice when I sussed it out, it's actually got a better curve, so it looks like it might stick on better than the Model 3 ones.
Yeah, I had another one there as well.
Yes, the red one.
Another photo which showed that even better there. But yeah, no, it was very cool. Like the front splitter and the back one as well, and that stuff, and it handled quite well. And I gave it a little bit of put my foot down just a little bit up to the legal speed limit, of course, and it went there very quick. So, it was very good. I tried out FSD with it as well. They let me off the chain and by myself, so that was good fun. And they went, it's not going to park when it gets to its destination, and it went off and parked itself. So, so I was very happy with that. And the 3-point turn, how it does it itself, I was very impressed with that as well. If I wanted to go back to work, then I would buy one. So
the only thing not going for it is that you got to wait until February to April, I think it is, next year, which is a long wait.
It's a long wait. I was they're very nice. It was very nice, very well built. Went all over it, had a look. So recommend it.
Yeah, cool, awesome.
Sorry,
cool.
Mike, just quickly, why from Germany?
Yes.
Yeah. How comes? Is it?
I think it's because
I don't know if
I think it's because they've decided. I don't know if I do know they're not selling the performance Y in
Shanghai.
China.
Yep.
Because
They're doing the Y,
because in Shanghai they
YL.
have the YL,
Yep.
the stretched Y. So, and even though the weird thing is there's virtually no difference between a performance Model Y and a long range all-wheel drive Y. Although maybe in this case the motor might be different this time.
There was a lot of when I put my foot down, it definitely felt different. It was really like I've been in the launch edition of the new Y, and it was nowhere near as quick. Like this was like a beast. I mean, I have my performance, but it was sort of like felt like a like a Panther or something. It was just like, and then it just went bang, and I was like shit, and then I slowed down.
Demo car.
Demo car, yeah.
Demo car.
Yep.
Demo, yeah.
You can drive it.
Yeah. From Saturday, so Aussie Park and O'Connor are doing test drives. This was like the fifth. I was like the fifth person because I didn't want to go to O'Connor. Or I could have gone on Saturday first thing, but I too tired ass to drive to O'Connor. So I'd rather go during the week since I'm retired. So fuck it.
So something plausible might be they want to shift production because Shanghai is basically running flat out. And Germany, whereas Germany is under capacity, so the Y Performance is a premium product, so it's got higher. It might not have higher margins, but it's got a higher price, so it can withstand higher costs. And one of the higher costs would be building it in Germany and shipping it to Australia by ship. So clearly, Tesla's decided to basically put more production through Germany to get those scales, the scales of economy or efficiency through greater production numbers. So that seems to be what they're doing. And yeah, obviously the Performance Y is not currently available in Shanghai. But that means then that it's not going to bode well for us to get the Model Y L, even though we need it more than most, because unlike the States, we don't have a Model X to lean back on for a 6-seat vehicle. So, it would be great if we could get the Performance from Germany and the Model Y L from Shanghai.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you, Shane, if there's something else after Mike.
Just sorry to take it back, but all the comments Pete and Harold made regarding the FSD purchase for Hardware 3 people. I'm not a lawyer, but at one point in my career, I was heavily involved in the Trade Practices Act. And essentially, as a statement, Trade Practices says, if you make a deceptive or misleading statement regarding a product which the average person doesn't understand, then you are in breach. And we'll leave it at that.
They're in breach. Look, there's no doubt that if someone subscribed without knowing that it's not what they thought it was, and Tesla relies on the term city streets, there's no doubt that any small claims or any, you went to Consumer Affairs, they would say, yeah, just pay them back the $149, be done with it. There's no doubt, but the problem is there are a lot of times when a company does something or doesn't do something that isn't correct, but it takes often a lot of effort to get resolution. And the problem is the average person just goes, do I need that upset? I'll just rage post on X or on something else instead and vent my grievance that way and have a bad taste in my mouth. Yes. So yeah, you're right. There's no way, because like I said, if you compare the release notes or any of the information given under FSD supervised and the slightest bit of evidence that you could put towards a small claims tribunal or a magistrate's court or anything, there's no way that what Tesla is selling it hasn't got a single thing to do with what we now know as FSD. It's just not. So you're right. They're selling something that they're offering something that they're not delivering.
Yeah, and it's so easy to avoid because firstly they could stop any Hardware 3 person buying it They can do
Yes.
that up front. It's so easy to avoid.
Yes, and if they want to just keep doing what they used to do, um, just have it at half price with a big asterisk that said this is just fancy
What are you
autopilot.
doing?
So
Lucky's coming over.
that's just what they should do. But hey, Elon doesn't always watch this show, unfortunately, because he's busy on other shows.
I would hope somebody in Tesla, let's just say communications, watches this show. All right, seriously, because there's things we bring up which would help them.
Yeah, indeed. Anyhow, okay, sorry. So Shane, have you got something back still?
Yeah. So first, there's two little things. One, we had went down to Bunker Bay for our 20th anniversary, Wendy and I, and explained to them that we had the electric
Thanks,
car.
Chuck. Sorry, Shane. Thanks, Chuck, for that map. I'll look at it shortly. But I'll catch you later. Sorry, go, Shane.
Yeah, no worries. And we mentioned we've got the electric car. So we were told that you need to bring your own cable and that you had it for 3 hours, and then it only charged at about 5 kilowatts, which was a bit weird. But just to let you know, when we got there, it's got its own cable. I think it's CCS2. It's 11 kilowatts, and the whole trip we topped up at Eaton, and I think the whole trip cost us like $21 in electricity.
Yeah,
So
cool.
Great trip. Enjoyed it. Cost us a bit more in other stuff like wine and chocolate and stuff. But yeah, so just to let you know, you don't need to bring, if you're staying at a resort, you don't need to bring your own cable. It's all there. It's one of those Porsche cable.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know
Yes.
the one?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
got its own cable. There's no. So we bought our cable. Didn't need it. So
Yeah, it's Type 2, not CCS. Yeah, it's Type 2.
Type 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I got the wrong one. And the other thing too is, I know it's been a long time, but it happened about 2 months ago. But with all your trips around the laps around Australia and my work and everything, we finally got that window issue fixed with the Model Y. You know how the alignment doesn't work. So I've got a couple of photos of Ben came around and fixed it. So do I put it on the chat just to show you a couple of
Yeah,
things?
just check on the chat. Do you mean, sorry, the wind down
No,
windows?
Yeah. So it doesn't align with the B pillar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the clips. So you would have changed the mounting clips.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And he was awesome, very knowledgeable, very friendly. Said to say hi to you guys. And
Cool.
yeah,
Ben's a
and
great guy.
yeah, he is. And yeah, there's the photos, and it was fixed within 45 minutes, an hour. Great.
Yeah, cool. Once it hasn't come through yet, Shane. If you just go to chat,
Probably uploading, is it?
just got it. Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
But yeah, unfortunately, that was a known issue, and yeah, Ben's really good. I think. Oh, something coming? No, no, it hasn't come yet.
All right, I'll work on it.
Oh, by the way, if anyone has only joined us fairly recently, if you look on the AI assistant, you can do something, AI companion, sorry. You can do something like, you can say, catch me up, and it'll give you a summary of the program, apparently.
Yeah, Harold, just of interest, I tried that. I changed over from my phone to my laptop after maybe half an hour of the meeting, and I just thought I'd test it out. So I said, catch me up. It was when you were talking about was it multipass was coming
Yes.
in?
Yep.
And that was the only thing it said had been discussed. So it didn't seem to be able to look back before you'd signed in.
Oh, okay. I might have to tweak the settings in the proper Zoom or PC. When you log into Zoom as in the system, as your account, not this session, I do recall something like you allow people to have access to before they join. So yeah, that might be a checkbox I have to set. Okay, Shane, I got the first image. Oh, there's another one coming. So yeah, this is a Model S.
It's awesome.
That Ben drives around in. It's an old S.
Yeah.
So he's got all his stuff in the back of that. Oh, look, he's even got. We all know whose it is. So that's definitely Ben's. And if I get the other image. Oh, you got a couple. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's with it aligned, I think. Is that
Yes, the
right?
door card was off, and that's realigned now.
Yep, that's realigned. And then the next one was, oh yeah, that's the inside. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so he did all the bits and pieces, and very knowledgeable, very enthusiastic, so good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, Ben's a great guy.
Mm.
Top guy.
And Ben, if you're watching, hello.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
love your work. Yeah, thanks, Shane. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Alrighty. Any other questions or comments?
The cars from Berlin are underneath the fringe benefit tax or the luxury car tax. So
Yep.
that means there's no tax on them also at the moment.
Yep.
So as you're saying, capacity, Berlin's already making them from the UK, not a big enough market. So they're making them from New Zealand and Australia as well. And they're all homologated, almost identical.
Yep.
So there's no change to tooling and no tax on import from Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Same as China.
yeah.
That's right. So no import duty.
I forgot to say, yeah, because the Tesla fellow said all the colors are included to keep you under that as well. So
Yes.
you can pick any of the colors. But if you pick white seats, it'll put you over the 100K.
Just barely. And it's like,
Yeah.
come on, just give us a discount of some sort.
No, they don't do that, unfortunately.
I know they don't. It's
Bullshit.
yeah, it's a shame. So
Yeah.
yeah. But and to be honest, as awesome, I'm not going to drive it because I don't want to get polluted. But
Don't drive it unless you want to buy it. Because I was
Yeah, true.
struggling. I really was. I was like, no, this is like week 6 of being retired. I'll be going back. I had a job offer this week and I'm like, nah, I'm good. But then after driving that, I was like, ooh. And my wife said, don't be stupid.
no, and then you would have gone, ooh, I could get a novated lease, and it's like, ooh,
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet
all
as.
the kit and caboodle, and then I would be very, very sad. Won't see the smiley face anymore. So no,
Nice.
I'm good. Sorry,
Mm.
it's all good.
I'm just waiting
You'll
for
never
my.
go back.
No,
I'm just waiting for the Cybertruck to open its order page early January. No, let's call it Q1. Q1.
Yeah, Q1 2027. Not
No. 2020. I've predicted Q1 next year that the order page will reopen.
Yeah, it probably will, but
I hope so.
I would rather it to be the year after. Just
Well, you can just wait, Paul. We can just ask you every week. So, Paul, have you dropped the order yet? Oh no,
Yeah.
no, I'm resisting.
Yep.
And then you'll go, oh, I can work a dozen hours a week at Bunnings, and as an elderly man, and get myself a sweet Cybertruck early.
Mm.
Dearie me. And then if Tesla keeps going up in price, once it regains its upward trajectory, resumes it, then you can get the Hardware 5 Cybertruck.
Yeah, exactly.
In a couple of years.
I think April, May, all the shit's gonna, the proverbial shit's gonna hit the fan, which is good for us. I mean, in terms of everything's all on the same month. That's nuts. It's just gonna run.
Yeah, so not financial advice, but
Not
obviously
financial advice, but yeah.
No. But as Elon Musk has suggested to shareholders, it's a good time to hold on to your shares.
Yep.
So if you've got them, don't let them go unless you really have to. And don't get margin, kids. That's very good financial advice.
Definitely not.
It's great on the way up. It's unpleasant on the way down. And ask me how I know. Not Tesla related, but he said so that it's good. Yeah, it's good to hold on to your shares. But there is going to be the catalyst of robotaxi. Oh, by the way, interestingly, it's been revealed that Waymo have stated that they are making moves into Australia, or they are seeking to make moves into Australia, namely into New South Wales, because at the moment Australia has a states run roads. The federal government runs the vehicles that go on the roads or determines their fitness to be imported, but it's the states that control their own roads individually. So we don't yet have unified autonomous vehicle regulations yet, although that is coming. So Waymo has declared that they are approaching and have approached the New South Wales, I guess it's the Department of Transport, their Department of Transport, to have Waymo car vehicles in Australia. And as Elon Musk has said quite sincerely, his sincere thanks to Waymo for unlocking all these cities and states in America, because effectively they are paving the way for Tesla to slide in and overtake them rather quickly. And I think it was Waymo that declared quite proudly that they had 2,500 cars on the road, and Elon Musk said something like great rookie numbers.
Yeah.
So they are going to be dwarfed in the next few months.
Do you know if the Jaguar was in Australia? I assume they would be.
So say that again, Pete.
Do you know if they're going to be Jaguars again in Australia?
Oh, no, don't know at all. I would guess. I don't think there are that many more Jags left. The I-Pace.
They're not making them anymore.
No, so whatever Waymo has, I think they have quite a few in stock.
They've got 1,000 in stock, and that's
right.
it. They bought the last of the run.
It's probably more likely to be the Hyundai. Wasn't Ioniq? It was, possibly something like that. So it might be something else.
They might put the Zeekrs here because we don't have an issue with Chinese cars. You know how they had a deal with Zeekr.
But that's not Waymo, is it? I don't think they've got a deal with Zeekr, have they?
I'm sure they did.
Oh, okay. So
I'll Google it. Exit Grokket.
Yeah, Grokket. But the good thing is, if
Ioniq
5s, if Waymo does succeed in bringing in their ridiculously looking vehicles, that gives Tesla a great impetus to follow up and do the same thing with robotaxis, whether that's just Model Ys with a steering wheel or cybercabs later. But it'll be great to see them in Australia. So, and I dare say, with Australia having its own FSD supervised software, then it could also have an extension of that could be Australian robotaxi software, which is really the same thing, just several generations ahead or iterations ahead. So yeah, go Waymo. Love to see you open the door while we can then just waltz on through.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it says Waymo's testing the Zeekr as well.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what
in testing.
Yeah, Zeekr.
Yeah, it's an but ugly vehicle sort of stuff. So
what makes for a perfect Waymo then?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Pete would be very happy if they come here and then he can release his fleet.
Yes, one day his
hedge will pay off, man.
His dubious plot may partially come to fruition. Although I guess in your fleet, Pete, you don't really have enough hardware for cars at this stage. But anyway, fleets can get turned over.
I've only got two.
Oh.
I would, if you rub two together, they might mate and create a third one, which would be useful. Alrighty, very good. Anything else in our last half hour of the program?
I'm just going to say, guys, great night. I've got a big day tomorrow, so I'm going to head off.
No worries, Shane.
Night, Shane.
Night, guys. But first of all, I'm going to say, Paul, what have you done to me?
I can see that he saw this.
My weekend's changed, and I've always wanted to own a German car.
Oh, it is so nice, man. It is so good. You put your foot down, that's it. You'll
Tesla Auto.
And you'll go, shut up and take my money.
Schöne Auto. Mein Gott.
Yeah. Less than 100K, man. So
yeah. All right. Gute Nacht.
Good Nacht. Good Nacht, Shane.
Guys, bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss. Dearie me.
Yeah.
Very, very
What
good.
do you say, Harold? You only live once.
YOLO, you only live once.
Yep.
The only thing is, if you're selling your Tesla shares, how many shares are you going to sell today that you could
Yeah.
have sold half as many in a year's time?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm good. I'm
But
holding strong.
well, you're already in an awesome car anyway. It's just the
Yeah.
awesomeness level that increases. As
Yeah.
I always say, my best car is my next car.
Yeah.
But very good. All right.
Yeah, I saw a video of the Cybertruck doing a U-turn, and then at a traffic lights, and then the Ford 250 or 350 or something tried to do it, and then it was like it couldn't do it.
That's a
And it-
3-point turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's classic.
But the thing is, he should have known. I mean, he knows what his truck's like, so he should have
Yeah.
just gone a bit wider.
Yep.
He should have gone wide, but the Cybertruck just didn't need to because four-wheel
Ah.
steering. That's something I enjoy. I look forward to getting used to,
Yeah.
because the problem is, if you are hard up against the wall and you just reef the steering wheel, hopefully there's going to be like a beep or something that warns you that you're going to scrape the wall, because that's what you will do if you've got four-wheel steering. But
You have to replace your wall. So,
that's right. The wall will just jump out the way because
Yeah.
it's scared of the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Deary me. Now I'm going to have to look up if I can get Glacier Blue vinyl wrap. Deary me. I wonder if I could do that, wrap it, get it delivered, and then show my wife and go, no, it's just the Model Y. You're just not looking at it correctly. It's just distorted.
Got stung by a bee.
It got, yeah, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Very good. Excellent. All right. Anything else for this awesome program? Otherwise, we're going to have a slightly earlier night tonight. Anyone? No, I think we might be able to score an earlier night. Alrighty. Pete, I think you're still there. Yes, you are. How would you see out an awesome show like this, as if I didn't already know? Oh, before we do that, don't forget, please, because usually people watch the start and the end of the program. This Saturday at 349 Warwick Road, Greenwood Tavern, Tokwa's AGM.
At 11:30.
At 11:30. Please don't miss it. It would be definitely something that you want to be at and enjoy. And also the week after that, we've got our track day. There were, as of this morning, 5 tickets still available. Please go and look at our Facebook page to get the try booking link for that. But yeah, once again, Pete, how would you see out a show like this, as if I didn't already know?
As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve.
The best way to do that is buy a Tesla, join Tokwa, and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and abundance. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Do look forward to seeing at least a few of you at this week's AGM, and also look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Yeah.
See ya.